Hi, this is Professor Connor, and I will be your instructor for Human Physiology Lab 24-25 for the summer. So welcome to class. We're excited to have you. It's interesting that we have to do it in this format. So we're going to do a few things here, and then there'll be another video with the PowerPoint that you'll be using for this week's lab homeostasis and data analysis. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through the syllabus and Canvas accounts, so you know kind of what you're doing and how to navigate it. So hopefully you've had a chance to go through and look at your Canvas account. And as we're getting to that, I'm going to share my screen. And this is what your homepage should look like. So it should look like this. This will be where you start out every time you get into class. Over here on this side, on the right-hand side, is all of the assignments that you'll be looking at. It'll also tell you what you've submitted, what's coming up, what's going to be due. And then on this side are your links to different things that are important for this class. So if you scroll down here a little bit, there's a couple of other things. So if you want a quick link to your lab, you can go on there, or modules is probably your best bet. This link will take you to the online learning introduction and will guide you through all of the pieces on the left-hand side and what they're for. So you have your course syllabus, which is this link right here. So you can either link here or you can go into that one. And then it outlines how everything's going to be ran. And we're going to go over that in just a second. And then you have the homepage, which we just came from. It also has some of your announcement links, discussion board links everyone has to actually participate in, and then modules and assignment tabs, and then your quizzes and how things will look. There's also a couple of specific videos that you might want to look at for the class, but it's a nice overview on how Canvas runs. So I'm going to go to, you can either click here or you can click here to the syllabus, and then we're going to talk about what's expected for this class. So here's my contact information. One of the best ways to get a hold of me is through Canvas email system, but you can also contact me on there. Both of them go to my phone, so I can see them when they come through. I also have office hours that you can attend through WebEx, which is this part right here. Tuesdays at 4:30 to 5 and 11:30 a.m. to noon. So they're about 30 minutes. They're not required. They're just there if you need help. And if those times don't work with your schedule, we can do alternate times for you and set it up. So again, best way to get a hold of me is through the Canvas system. So the required materials for this lab are all online. Everything you need is right here. You do not have to purchase anything additionally. And then everything we're going to be covering will be there. So lab links, everything else, you don't need to worry about going out and buying a lab material book. It is nice to actually have, if you have your lecture book with you, you can kind of use it as a reference, but you don't need a book for this lab. So most of this is just course learning outcomes we're not going to really talk about. However, when we get down to general policies, there is an attendance policy. So there is a participation quiz that's online for the syllabus. You actually read through the syllabus and then answer the questions, this syllabus. This has to be done no later than May 22nd, or if you do not do it or contact me or do any of the work before that point in time, you can be dropped. There are people that are really trying to get into the lab, so you need to be making sure that you're engaged this week. As far as incompletes and withdraws, it's your decision if you want to do an incomplete, but I have to have, it has to be extenuating circumstances to be able to do that. So the last day to drop this class with a refund is June 2nd, and the last day to withdraw is July 2nd. So it is your responsibility if you are withdrawing. It's not me that has to do it, it's actually you. So make sure that you, if you decide to withdraw, that you do that. We have assignments each week. The lab runs from Monday at 8 a.m. to Friday at 11:59. So you have all week to complete all of the material and all of the assignments. No makeup or late assignments will be accepted since you have a week. So make sure that you're taking into consideration your schedule and you're making adjustments for that. This also gives me the weekend to be able to grade your material and get it back to you. We have 2 exams. We have a midterm for this class, and then we have a final exam, which you will be taking. So that's where some of the points are going to come from, and we'll go over that in just a minute. And then, of course, how it's going to be done is again, Monday morning at 8 it opens for the week, that week of the lab, and then closes back at 11:59. It will lock, so make sure that you're planning well. So here's where your points are coming from. The Canvas syllabus quiz that shows that you're engaged for the week and will not have to be dropped is 10 points, and you have 15 points for each of your post-lab reports. There are 10 labs, so that gives you 150 points. The discussions are 10 points each, and there are 10 of those, so that equals the 100 points that you see up on the screen. And then the weekly lab quiz is 5 points, and there's 10 of those, which are 50 points. The midterm exam is 90, and the final exam is 100. And so there's your 500 points that are available for the class, and your grade scale, which is also in your syllabus as well, is included right below how that breaks down from an A to an E. The laboratory schedule is also at the very bottom of the syllabus, and it gives you an idea of what this is going to look like during the summer. So week 1, which we're in right now, starting today, May 18th through the 22nd, is your introduction to this remote delivery, and then of course homeostasis data collection and data analysis. And so again, 8 a.m. to 11:59 Friday night is where you have the entire week to do this work. Again, there are those 2 office hour pieces. Those are not required. We're not meeting face-to-face. This is just you doing your stuff and emailing me when you have issues or questions. Each week, I'm going to actually put up a PowerPoint for you that has me speaking, and then there'll be notes with it. So as we're going down through, you can kind of see the topics that we're going to cover this semester. So cell metabolism, cell transport, endocrine, sensory, and then your midterm is June 24th through the 26th. You'll have 3 days to do that. So you'll have the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th to complete that midterm, and it will be open during those dates, not before. So only 3 days. So it's not the full week. And then of course, August 5th through the 7th is your final exam. Again, only 3 days. Those are the only differences that are in the actual schedule of a week versus the 3 days is when you have those tests. So it gives you a couple days to study, and then of course take the test at your leisure during those 3 days. All right, so a couple other things to look at is modules. And so if we click on modules here, this gives you what your class is going to look like. So right here is that navigation piece, and there is your first 10 points, that syllabus quiz showing that you're engaged in the course. And then of course your first week, which is homeostasis, circadian rhythm, data analysis, and collections. And so it gives you the objectives, which can also be found in your announcements that I sent out. And it tells you kind of what you're supposed to be completing. So you have the lab discussion, the online materials, which are all available in Canvas, and then your post-lab and the quiz. So if you go back to modules again, it will show you what assignments are there. So again, there's your discussion, and it tells you when it's due. It's due on May 22nd at 10 points. And then your pre-lab reading is every material piece that you'll need to be able to do the post-lab and the lab itself. The online lab protocol just tells you how to do it. It's an online lab, and it will pull you through and tell you exactly what procedures you need to be doing. And then of course your homeostasis summer quiz, and so that is actually due Friday night as well. So make sure that you're planning out your week so you get everything in. And this one already shows you what you're going to be covering next week is cell metabolism and what's there. These are not open and won't be until Monday the 25th, but they're available so you can kind of see what you're going to be doing. So that is modules. The next thing, so announcements is the place where you want to check every Monday, and it will show you example this week, your course engagement requirements, and then every week there'll be a course expectation piece that will tell you exactly what you're doing. This one's a little longer than normal because it's the first week, but it also kind of gives you what is going to be expected. And then of course, as you get down, for instance, lab 1 information tells you what the objectives are for that lab, and then what's due, what you will be doing, and how many points it is, and all of that good stuff. So that will be your announcements each week. You should have seen that this morning, and you need to check every Monday morning to see exactly what the expectations are for the week. Assignments and quizzes are self-explanatory. Discussions, that's where you go to the discussion for this week. which is this one, Lab 1 discussion, where you can click in and then add your feedback and make sure you respond to others. Grades, where you can see your grades and where it's going. And then this one is WebEx, which right now is showing an error because you actually have to connect with your email, but that's where you can see when my office hours are and then connect into WebEx so that you can get connected and we can speak and you can ask questions and do all that stuff. Again, not required. All right, so for the most part, that is how Canvas works. Again, I'm going to go over the PowerPoint in a minute. I'm going to stop sharing this. So the big thing to remember is that you want to check your announcements each week and you want to go to the modules to make sure that you are following all of the assignments so that you're in good shape by Friday. Always plan accordingly to your schedule to make sure that you have enough time to complete all of the assignments. I would even go on Monday morning and look and see what's there and see what's expected, and then you can plan your week to make sure that you have enough time or can schedule yourself so that you can cover all the pieces. Again, the other important thing is that it will not be accepted if it's after Friday night. That is a department policy because you have a week to do everything. So with that being said, that's the introduction to BIOS 2425. Again, if you have questions, the best way to get a hold of me is through the Canvas email, or you can just directly email to my Slick account. Otherwise, this is how this is going to go this semester, and I hope you enjoy this lab. It's actually pretty fun. One of my favorite labs ever. I teach 1615 as well, and so this lab is really one of my favorites. So I'm excited to get to know you through the web, I suppose, and I hope that you enjoy this lab as much as I have fun teaching it. So any questions, let me know or email me, and have a great night, and I'm excited to have you in this class. Have a good one.